it's officially 6 weeks to the end of the year, and that makes me feel a certain type of way. Honestly, I won't lie. I realized it like a few days ago. I was like, wait, hold up. November is already halfway gone, and oh, that's a good thing. Thank God for life. Thank God we're still in good health and everything. But that's also so crazy. Like, I'm not ready to end the year. I'm not ready to wrap up the year, even though like I just started working on some of my goals, because definitely to get my podcast on video was a big part of like, okay, yes, do this year. So it's never too late, because I just started this like a month ago. So it's never too late. Anyways, I'm just like, you know what? What can I do for the rest of this year that would make it count? That would make it like give me a good ending and give me a good start up next year. Like, I just don't want to, because it's easy for us to think, okay, it's like it's really just few weeks in the year. Let me just throw it all away. Like, there's no point anymore. But I've been seeing a lot of people doing like winter arc, like the habits they want to take it on into the new year. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to raw dog the new year. Like, I'm just going to raw dog the new year, because I've also been seeing TikToks about raw dogging flights, like no music, no movies, just maps, like just focusing on the main goal. And I just want to take that, because it's a very funny challenge, like a TikTok challenge. I just want to take that and also be like, how can I just focus on the main thing on this like flight that is 6 weeks long, which is the rest of the year. And a few ideas came to me. I won't lie, like, okay, these are the things that I should stop doing, and these are the things that I should start doing. So yeah, that's what we'll be talking about in this video, on how I'm raw dogging the rest of the year. Hi guys, it's Princess. Welcome or welcome back to Inspire That Podcast. If you're a returning viewer, I'm really, really excited. I'm really, really happy that you're here. And if this is the first time you're seeing me, seeing this beautiful, awesome podcast, thank you also for clicking on this video. And this podcast is just where I talk about my journey, talk about going from point A to point B, closing the gap between my current self and my future self, everything that I go through, because I feel this should just be spoken about more so that we can inspire each other and motivate each other. Anyways, today, like I have said from the intro, we're talking about the ins and outs of this year, because I'm not going to wait till next year, because I just don't want to throw away the rest of the year. I wrote down a little things of my ins and my outs. The first out, because I'll start with my outs, because you say bye bye to like things that you don't want anymore. My first thing is to stop saying should, because it ruins the fun in most things. Because if I ever catch myself saying I should do this, I always bring in a lower energy. Saying I should just ruins the fun out of everything, because now I'm feeling obliged to do this. And well, having like the good mindset about productivity is also really, really important, because if I just pull all my things with like using everything with force and doing everything because of I should do them, not because I want to do them. Because I have to realize that I chose to do this podcast. I shouldn't say, oh, I should be scripting. And also to start paying attention to how things feel rather than how they look. Because yeah, it looks good to wake up so early, prepare my podcast, do some schoolwork, and then record in the afternoon and then edit in the evening. Like, that looks good. But does it feel good? It doesn't feel good like in any way, because that's just too much for me in one day. Like, it's just too much. I cannot record and edit in one single day. I have to give myself time to heal and rest, even though it sounds bizarre, but I shouldn't pay attention to how it looks, because when I focus more on how this thing looks, it doesn't even give me that satisfaction anymore. But how I feel about it makes me more happy and makes me more fulfilled. Because if I realize that the things that I'm doing is draining my energy, I don't feel good. I won't even be able to show up in a way that would actually push me forward. I'll be showing up like 20% every single time. But these two first points is just have a more calm have a more calm approach with productivity. don't just like don't just like appreciate yourself, appreciate what you're doing, and take it slow, take it easy, because we're at the end of the year. So just take it slow and take it easy. And the next out is perfectionism. I like to think that I'm a perfectionist, because it takes me time to even put out like my creative like energy out there, which is bad, because I have a lot of TikToks recorded, but I haven't even posted up to two, because I just feel like they're not perfect. And I want to let this go before the year ends. Like I want to start posting on TikTok more before the year ends. Like not just before the new year, like I would normally do. So I just want to get rid of perfectionism, because how will I know this is good or not? Like I'm doubting myself. I'm doubting this creative thing that I have tried my best at. Okay, not my best, but this creative thing that I have tried at. I've put in some effort in it. I wouldn't know if this is good or bad unless I put it out there. Like I'm not saying that whatever I do is perfect and everything or is good, but I like to make myself think that it has to be perfect before it goes out, which is like who knows. You have to get feedback from who you're catering this thing to before you know if it's perfect or not. And just as time goes on, you will figure out what is good and what is bad. And what I just tell myself time to time is I realize that I can improve along the way. I don't have to be good now and then start being good from the beginning. I can improve along the way. I'm giving myself that option to improve along the way. Where I've kind of accepted that I can improve along the way with the YouTube. Like I know that these videos are not perfect, but when it comes to other things, it's like I have to renew that mindset again, which is so weird because I always felt like this not just applies to every single part. But the way I'm fighting my demons in one aspect is also the same way I have to fight my demons in other aspects. And the next one is procrastination. This episode won't be complete if I don't talk about procrastination, because procrastination really be what's holding a lot of people back, including me. Like just procrastinating basic things because of fear. And I spoke about that in like 2 episodes ago, where it's like having a beginner's mindset. And what I have to say about procrastination is just do it. Like I know I just finished talking about how okay, focus on things, focus on how things should feel and not how they look. But I think we need to find the balance within ourselves, from where we're just not doing anything to where we're just overdoing and we're going to get burnt out. Like find that sweet spot in the middle and find where you are right now and how you can go up from there. Because you feel see, next time that you're doubting yourself, next time that you feel what you're doing is not good enough, that you don't even want to show up in any way, there are people that are admiring what you do. There are people that are admiring who you are. There are people that are admiring how you choose to show up in different aspects of your life. So if you feel this way, I'm so scared, I don't want to do it, like just do it, because you never know how people are going to perceive it. And even if it's with your schoolwork or whatever thing that you're doing, your future self will thank you so much. Like why I always tell myself last year is my future self will thank me. My future self will thank me. And in fact, I'm thanking my past self. And I'm also telling myself again, my future self will thank me for pushing, like just going over this hurdle. Because at the beginning stages is super difficult. No one has to tell me that twice. Every new thing is super uncomfortable because your brain doesn't know the outcome of it. And my aims for the rest of the year, I like to think of the things that I just want to start doing before next year begins. Like I want to have a good start to next year. I don't want to be, because you know what, the new year is such a busy time for me as a student, because I don't even have time to like reflect and do all these practices that will give me a head start into the new year. So I just want to get that started now. And my first aim is to get over the fear of missing out. I was scrolling on Instagram yesterday, as I normally do. I was scrolling on Instagram and then I saw someone just live their life so beautifully, like watching stories and stuff. And I'm like, I wish I was doing that right now. And then I thought to myself, my life was completely fine before I saw her doing what she does, because she was literally glowing and everything, thriving. And I'm like, why am I feeling like I should be doing this? Like my whole goals, like my whole trajectory of life is just going to change because of what I'm watching. And it's like you just have to reduce how you're consuming the way other people live their lives, because it's going to make your own values and your own goals a bit blurry. I'm just trying to cut back on consuming other people's lives, because it's not bad, but just cut it back and just let it not affect the way you live your life, because I'm sure we all have goals, we all have things that we value, but there are certain times where that value is kind of compromised because of what other people are doing. I can value recording this podcast at this certain time, but because someone is like having fun outside or going here and there, I will feel, but I wish I was doing that though. And I can tell myself, okay, no, this podcast is way more valuable to me than going out and like doing these other certain things. So I can tell myself that and I can bring myself back home. But when we don't have a strong value of what we really, really want, or we don't have a strong perception of what we want our life to feel like and what we want our life to look like on a daily basis, whatever we see someone else doing is going to just affect us easily, which is not good because you would live your life based on what everyone else is doing. And most times, what everyone else is doing is not meant for you because you're meant to do what is meant for you, what you feel is right. Because I know that there are some times and there are a lot of times where I feel like this is what I should be doing. And then looking back, I realized, no, you know what? That wasn't meant for me. I shouldn't have been doing that. And thank God I wasn't doing that. So whenever I realize that I'm looking at what other people are doing and I'm like feeling left out and I feel like I'm missing out on the things that I'm supposed to be enjoying as a 20-something-year-old living life, I just have to tell myself, who am I? What do I want? What's important to me? What makes me happy? What do I value? What do I want to look back on and be happy with how I spent my life? And instead of just trying to do what everyone else is doing. So when I figure out these things, I can easily say, okay, you know what? That looks good, but it's not meant for me. And the next one, which I want to gag by just saying this, is to not try and measure my happiness to how much work I did or how successful like my day was. Because I realized that I have this habit where, okay, it's like at the end of the day, like at 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. when my energy is really, really low. And then I'm like, "Ugh, I'm going to bed and I'm sad." And I ask myself, Princess, why are you sad? And it's like, okay, well, I didn't do a lot of work today. Like I didn't tick off everything on my to-do list. So that's why I'm sad. And then I sleep sad. And then I wake up with low energy because I slept sad. And you know what? It's that like it just never helps me because I try because it came from me trying to okay be like do more and hold myself accountable. Like, okay, how did my day go? And at first it was like, okay, tomorrow you're going to do this, tomorrow you're going to do even better and stuff. But now I just become a disgusting thing. Honestly, I just become something that shouldn't be that way. Like trying to measure how happy you're going to be because of how many things that you ticked off is just not the right way to live. So I'm just trying to focus on being happy. Like, okay, I didn't tick off everything on my to-do list. That's fine. Tomorrow is another day. Tomorrow is a beautiful day as well. And just going on with it because not every day is going to look perfect. Not every day is going to go as planned. But as far as I'm showing up in the little way that I can, I should appreciate that with myself and I should take that with me instead of looking for reasons to make myself feel sad. And the next is journaling. When people speak on journaling or when I see people speak on journaling, it's about how it is such a good thing and everything. I know, okay, I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm going to take this on. I'm going to like challenge accepted, right? Nobody told me how difficult it's going to be. Nobody told me how difficult it's going to be because why am I dreading journaling? Something that's supposed to be fun. Like that's so crazy. I'm still thinking, me dreading it doesn't mean that it's good. Or does it mean that I should keep going? Or does it mean that it's not meant for me? But I'm trying to believe that journaling is meant for everybody. Like it's not meant for like even if you're not enjoying it right now, even if it's like tasking and hard, it doesn't mean that you should stop. So I've been journaling and I think I've been doing it for at least 21 days straight. Like no days of journaling, and it has really helped me because I can see the ups and downs of my emotions. Like when I read back, I'm like, "Ah, it's so crazy because as I'm writing, because I'm literally writing at the speed of which I'm thinking, and sometimes my hands just start cramping. But I can see my thought process. Like I can see what leads me to speaking negative. I can see what triggers me just by reading it back. Because at the end of the day, I'm just trying to write down something, and I'm not writing down like 2 lines. I'm telling myself this is like I told myself like okay, you know what, at first when I started I was super like ambitious like I usually am, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to be doing 2 full pages because I want to fully express my emotions and not hold back, so I can easily think of what to use to fill up these pages. So I'm forcing myself to literally do this, and honestly it was super difficult as someone that isn't used to writing down how they feel to just suddenly writing like 2 pages every single day. So I had to cut it in half and I'm like, okay, 1 page. And I've been doing 1 page really, really well. Like I've been consistent with like my 1 page journaling. And I think everyone should try journaling once in a while. Like even if you're not doing it consistently, but try and journal. Like anytime where you feel a bit stuck or when you feel like your brain is just fogged up, not fucked up, but like you feel a brain fog, try and journal. Just let everything out, because it's like you've put this in this paper and it's like, okay, I'm closing this and it's gone. Whereas other times I could just be thinking about it, going over it again and again. Okay, but why did this go? Why did this go? And I realized that when I'm writing things down, I'm finding a solution for myself, which is so crazy. Like, it gives me space to think of my thoughts, and it gives me space to think of these thoughts clearly. Like, I can sit with my thoughts, I can see this clearly, and then I can find a solution. But when I'm just going over it in my mind, it's just like there's no way out of this. But when I put it in writing, like immediately, sometimes or not all the time, so take this with a pinch of salt, immediately I can find the solution to what I'm going through, because I'm just forcing my brain to think about this clearly. And I'm not writing like the millions of different scenarios. So that gives me like a clearer perspective, because having different scenarios, those things are not going to happen. Like these things are you're just spiraling at this moment. And the next thing that I'm trying to do is to be mindful, because I know that there are some times where I'm taking rest as like procrastination. So if I'm watching like Nollywood movies, which I've literally been watching like every single day for the past few weeks, but if I'm watching like a Nollywood movie, I should be like, okay, yes, I am relaxing, and this is a well needed relaxation time. Not thinking, oh, but I have like my graduation projects to do, or I have my like courses, video lectures to watch and everything. Like, just take this as a relaxing time, and then you can go to work on the things that you're supposed to work on. No, okay, I'm trading this for this. Like, you don't have to trade anything for anything. You're allowed to relax. Like, Princess, future, you're watching this, in case you ever forget, you're literally allowed to relax. You're allowed to watch Nollywood movies. You're allowed to sit back and eat cookies in bed. Like, it doesn't mean that you're slacking off, basically. And I just feel like my points are a bit contradictory, because now my next point is to challenge myself to be 1% better every single day. And you know what? I think life is just about finding that sweet spot in the middle. Like, you can't be all about relaxing, and you can't be all about work. Like, it depends on you. Like, depends on what works for you. But what works for me is just to find that sweet spot in the middle. Like, yes, I want to watch Nollywood movies, but yes, I still want to improve on myself daily. Like, I don't want to just watch Nollywood movies, and I also don't want to just like be focused on challenging myself and everything. But challenging myself has been really, really good, because I'm always like, okay, how can I challenge myself today? What's this one thing that I know that I need to do? I know that it will help my future self, but I just don't feel like doing it. And I know that, okay, this is what I don't want to use should, because I just spoke about how I'm not going to be using should. What was one thing that I know that would really, really help me if I do it, but I'm dreading? And then I just try to do it, and I will be happier, because it's like, okay, what was the big deal? There was literally no big deal there. Because in my episode of beginner mindset, I really love that episode, and I think you should watch it if you're like struggling with procrastination and struggling with getting out of your comfort zone. I think you should really watch that episode, because that is the single mindset shift that has changed the game for me. Like, anytime I think about it, I easily I easily show up for myself, no matter how difficult it may be. I know that I'm a beginner and I can do this, because I'm a beginner, and I know that this fear, you know what, just go watch it. Go watch that episode. Go watch that episode. Let me not spill all my secrets. So go watch that episode. And going out of your comfort zone is like, well, what we call that exponential growth, because at every single time it's like, okay, 1%. Then there's just a point where you're just going to go up so high, and you'll be like, wow. So it's just this daily impulse, daily ways of going out of your comfort zone. Make sure you do something that, like, don't allow your days to just go like this every, like, your weeks, your months, just like this. Find out a way. I'm talking to myself, by the way, but find out a way that you can improve in something that you're doing. And honestly, as I'm saying this, I realize that I haven't been finding out ways that I can improve in my podcast. Like, since I started, like, my first steps, I was like, okay, yeah. But now I'm just like, I haven't been doing a lot of behind the scenes trying to improve things. I'm just trying to put out episodes, which isn't bad. Like, that is good. But now I'm comfortable putting out episodes. I hope I'm saying this, I don't jinx it, but I'm comfortable putting out episodes. So now it's time to go to the next level. Like, okay, what can I do better next time? Instead of, okay, I'm just trying to put out episode. Put out episodes, but also try to improve, get 1% better, because of that exponential growth that is going to happen when you're looking back. And the next and the last one is to not believe everything I think. When I heard someone say don't believe everything you think, I was like, that's a really, really good way to put something, because like this could apply in every single way. Opinions that you have, don't believe it because you're just simply thinking about it. Opinions that you have about yourself, opinions that you have about other people, don't simply believe it because it's in your head. Because a lot of crazy things are in our head, because we consume like content that is so crazy. We are not even mindful of the content that we're consuming. So definitely some of those things are going to go to our head, are going to change our perception of certain things. So because you're thinking of something, because you feel this is a certain way, because you feel this is this, you don't have to subject yourself to believing it. And this has really helped me to improve, because I'm thinking of something and I know that this is not really the best thing for me to be thinking about right now. I can challenge those thoughts and be like, okay, you know what, that's not true though. And this also is really important when it comes to negative self-talk, because I feel like some of us don't even know when we're speaking bad about ourselves. Some of us don't even realize, we can't even catch ourselves doing these things to us. So whenever a thought comes to your head, don't be afraid to challenge it. Whenever you feel what you're doing is not good enough, don't be afraid to challenge this thought that, okay, but is it actually good enough? Even when you feel what you're doing is so good and is the best out there, also think about it, like, is it though? Like, don't be afraid to challenge whatever thoughts and think about what you think about. Be mindful of what you think about. So these are my ins and outs of the year. This is how I'm raw dogging the rest of the year. I know it's a weird thing to do, but I think having something that you can laugh about, like, or sprinkling play into like the serious things that you're doing, is the way to go, because it just removes that external like seriousness. You can just be chill, and at the same time you can still be achieving your goals. So if you stay till the end, please like comment down your one in and one out of the year. What are you going to stop doing before the year ends, and what do you want to start doing? What habits do you want to create before the new year starts? Don't forget to watch my other videos, and definitely there'll be another video next week Wednesday, which is like the routine that I've kind of formed around this podcast. So I'll see you in my next week's episode.